Well, emishimbe, iritimbe, it means that when the soul is there, definitely you have hope. Away from politics, it's time to talk something soft this morning. The Future Awards Africa is a prestigious recognition that celebrates excellence and innovations across various sectors of the African economy. Now, each award category highlights remarkable individuals and organizations driving impact change in their fields. Now, today we have joined us Lukman Shobowale, who is an author and a businessman. He joins us for that to discuss, talking about the Future Awards this morning. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
So, why is your brand partnering the Future Awards this year?
All right, so at Dukia Investment, we believe that Africa's growth depends on investing in Africans' young people. And we've also observed that the Future Award Africa has invested deeply in African excellence and also African innovation. And it's only ideal to be at the center of that. And that's why we are part-time, basically. Okay,
so I mean, 2 years back, you definitely won. You were nominated and you won your category for entrepreneurship. Yeah. So now tell me, so far, being now in as a sponsor, why would you say the Future Awards is a necessity? The Future Awards Africa is a necessity for the Nigerian youth?
All right, well, I believe, like what I said earlier on, at the core of what Future Award does is spotlighting Africa's excellence and Africans' innovation through or giving opportunities to the young population. And we can see that as far as Nigeria is concerned, we have, we have demonstrated that as a nation, we have a lot of young people who are doing tremendously well. So what the Future Award is doing is spotlighting them, giving them an avenue to thrive. I remembered when I was, shortlisted among a few other, innovative entrepreneurs 2 years ago. He also gave us a platform to showcase what it is that we are doing. He also gave opportunity for people to see the amazing work that we've been doing. And that became like a stepping stone to do other greater things.
If I may ask, what is the unique selling point or what stands out for Future Awards?
Well, I think that beyond an award that is given to you is the fact that the award also is an amalgamation of creatives. A lot of people have been doing a lot of amazing stuff. It's just a pat on the back that we notice you, we see the work that you are doing. So it gives you that recommendation, that consistency to continue to go and to say, you know what, I think what I'm doing makes a lot of meaning to many people. Okay. And it also puts you before the world to actually see that indeed I can be rewarded if I put in the real work. That's actually good. Speaking about being rewarded for putting in the real work. Now, there are a lot of award organizations in Nigeria. I, for one, have actually gotten to the opportunity of rejecting some awards because I'm like, okay, I think about it. I think of the category I'm nominated in. I'm like, this is not adding up. Do you get? And I'm like, okay, no, do you understand? So why would you say the Future Awards Africa actually steps out? Because a lot of times you see award, people reaching out to people to give people awards and expecting to collect money and all of that. It's actually a thing that happens in Nigeria for real, especially in this season. Do you understand? So how sure are you that, okay, you know what, when they called me, you look at your achievements, you're like, you know what, I deserve it. Okay, I think that's a very interesting one. I think for us as an organization to decide to partner with the Future Award, I think is because of their track record. And we've also seen, we identify ourselves with brands who stand out, especially with their values. I think for Nigeria as it is, I would say that the Future Award is the Forbes of award in Africa, especially because you don't need to do anything, especially in terms of monetary support, to be qualified. But you're a sponsor this year. Yeah, we're a sponsor. So I'm saying that, well, I thank God I was doing a sponsor when I won. So what I'm just trying to highlight here is that it's entirely different. It's an award that recognizes hard work, diligence, and the work that you've done. And that's why you see that there's nothing like you trying to pay. So they depend and rely on organizations who are doing well to sponsor so that they can continue to spotlight talents and individuals who are doing really well. So what Future really does is it looks at individuals who are doing well, and they are an amazing, for you to be a nominee alone, it's a lot, let alone winning the award. And that's why it's not bad.
We have quite a lot of names, especially even in sports. So but my question is, how do you go about this selection? Well, is it based on ethnicity, any tribe or religion, or this is my friend, is a paddy stuff?
Okay, for us, I think that we are only a sponsor. I might not be able to go into the detail of the selection process, but I know that it's strictly merit-based. So they look at the works you've done over the years, your contribution, and that's why they have different categories. They look at people who are into entrepreneurship, what contribution are you bringing on board? And they nominate a set of pre-qualified individuals, and eventually they have a jury. So they look at some of their accomplishments, in details, and then they decide, okay, this is the person that actually deserves to win. And I think that due to that thorough process, I mean, it's very credible and it's something that is different from every other award out there. And they don't also ask you to pay a dime. Okay,
so now we are preparing for the awards. Per person as a sponsor, what would you say are your key responsibilities? And then what should we also be looking forward to?
I think for us, our responsibility is to support through our resources, to ensure that the work that we do at Dukia Investment, we are not just building homes, because like we always tell people, real success is not about what you acquire, but what you pass down for others to inherit. So what we are doing is that we are using some of our own social responsibility to support the amazing work that Future is doing in spotlighting talent and to ensuring that Nigerian young people who are putting in the work, who are creating excellence and innovation, who are putting the country on the map of the world, are recognized for the great work that they are doing.
All right.
Absolutely. So what message do you have out there to those who have been nominated for these awards?
Well, I think my message to them is that first, the fact that you are nominated is a proof that you are part of Africa's future. And I want to tell you that you should be audacious, you should be relentless, and you should invest in yourself.
Okay, so it's one thing to speaking to the nominees right now. There are people watching that are wondering, okay, fine, like, what's that thing I need to do differently in my business? Absolutely. Now, you've been there, you've done that, you've won the award. Now, people out there really, really striving, feeling that they're not being seen, they're not being recognized. What would you say is that thing that stood you out, that put you on that spot, that made the Future Awards say, okay, you know what, this guy is up there. What can they do to literally get to that point?
Well, I think that the first thing I want to say is that be audacious. I think before I was nominated for the award, I think I've always been doing the things I was doing, putting myself out there, putting my content out there, biting more than I can chew. It's important to tell people out there to be audacious, bite more than you can chew, and then think of self highly, and be relentless, and also invest in yourself, because the opportunities are there, but you need to constantly push your content out. You need to constantly demonstrate that you're worth it. You need to constantly demonstrate that you can deliver on some of the things that you say you can deliver, and then the world will come and watch you burn.
I love the fact that you actually said put your content out there, put yourself out there. A lot of times now, a lot of businesses are into the content creation because they believe, yes, everybody needs to know, including the people that are literally not doing anything on the back end. So they think, they focus a whole lot of their energies on putting, I'm sure you've had those experiences, right? On putting content out there. Then they say, oh yeah, come and do this contract now. Now, we've seen the contents, now we cannot deliver. So now, with regards to that, the importance, of course, of content is important. We know that. So now, what do you have to say in that regard?
Okay, I think that at the end of the day, it always stems from substance.
Yes.
So you need to be authentic. You need to actually put in the work. When I say put out yourself out there, the truth is that if you are not properly cooked and you put yourself out there, people will see you for who you are. And if you are properly cooked and you put yourself out there, I mean, people are also going to say, what I'm just trying to say is that don't despise your youthfulness. That's your power.
You're going biblical now.
Because because the wisdom of Solomon has nothing to do with the age of Methuselah. In this generation, a lot of people despise young people. They say, you know what, you're young, maybe you're not able to do it. I mean, I remember that I did my first billion transaction when I was just 25. So what I'm trying to say is that you can do it.
No, I didn't get that right.
I did my first 1 billion transaction when I was just 25. So, because I'm into relation now, I build for people. Beyond building homes, we build legacy. We invent comfort and we build smiles. So, and we've done that beyond the shores of Nigeria. And I didn't come from the best of background. My father is not. I mean, there's no
blueprints.
No money from home. So it's important that I just challenge you that you too can do it. But beyond that, you have to put in the work. You have to learn and unlearn. You have to relearn. You need to understand that everything you're going to accomplish will stem from who you have become. It is first be before being. It is first being before be. So you need to be that person then you can now show it to the world.
I love the fact that you said your background should not determine where you're coming from. That means that your background should not determine, push your back to the ground. Tell those young Nigerians watching you out there how they can develop that passion and turn it into profit.
All right. So basically, I just want to say that, recently there's a conference that we are hosting in the nation of Brazil, and a lot of people are saying that, well, how do you learn to speak Portuguese? Was he high? And then how do you get to talk to all of these white people and all of that? Well, I told them, from where I am coming from, I mean, I've seen the list. I mean, you can't go deeper down than where I'm coming from. I know the smell of poverty. So I've told myself that it's either I create impact or I become nothing. So it's like, when I was in school, I knew that I was on a scholarship. I knew that I had to be the best or I don't go to school.
So you're in the category of those who are saying, I reject poverty, but they are also working to ensure that they are not poor.
Of course.
We have a lot of young people who will tell you, I reject poverty in Jesus' name, but they are idle. They are not doing
That's
anything.
the wishful thinking. And poverty does not respond to wishes. So, because it's important that you put in the work. There is nobody that cannot make it. There is nobody that cannot be successful. But you need to put in the work. You need to show in and show out. You need to demonstrate integrity. You need to be on the run. You need to be on the go. You don't probably need to have the best qualification or the best academic achievement, but you need to be sure that you wake up every morning doing that thing that you set your heart to do and making sure that you constantly evolve in getting it done in a better manner.
I love the fact that we've pivoted to motivation. I like the energy is giving me joy.
You can see the energy is coming out now.
I think that's your real calling. So that real estate you're doing is amazing. But you see, motivation, I think is brilliant.
Real estate involves some form of motivation. You need to push the customer.
Absolutely. And that is actually where I'm coming to with this question, because I mean, we're in Nigeria, a lot of people are complaining, the economy this, the government that, and all of that. Then this is you literally making your first billion transaction at 25. So what are the Nigerian people not seeing? Why are they not seeing the opportunities that, I mean, like people like yourself have seen? What would you say the Nigerian youth, the ones still wondering how to make it, what are they missing?
Well, I'll say that we're at 25, that was about 6 years ago. So, I mean, if I could do that 6 years ago,
I know your age
maybe
now.
Some people will say it was worse then.
So you can be termed as a billionaire now?
Well, you will not probably term me as a billionaire because, I mean, these are transactions.
No, we are not.
So the guys will not come after you.
We get it.
I'm a channel. Those things have passed through me. But let me just say this, right? It's the fact that you need to understand that as far as Nigeria is concerned, Nigeria is, the fact that you see all of the bad things means that there are a lot of opportunities. I mean, you can look at it and say that, oh, this is a bad economy. But the moment you keep seeing a bad economy, Dangote is from Nigeria, right? Otedola is also from Nigeria. Elumelu is from Nigeria. These guys are thriving. So it's important to understand that what is my unique selling point? What am I bringing on board? Instead of being part of those who are complaining, can you be part of the change makers? Can you contribute? Can you do something? Can you, develop? Can you amplify, some of the greater stories that are happening from Africa? So you need to make sure that you are a participant and not just, a spectator. So it's important that you position yourself from that angle and stop complaining about Nigeria, because in this same country there are opportunities and there are many people. I mean, sometimes you go to some of the best countries in the world, maybe America or Canada, and you see people who are homeless, sleeping on the street, and you're wondering that if only I can get this passport. In your imagination, you thought if you have an American passport or a Canadian passport, all will be well with you. But these are Canadians, these are Americans who are sleeping on the road, who are addicted to drugs. They are in a country that seemingly is flowing with, plenty, but they are experiencing lack. So it's not necessarily a place of, it's not a function of location, right? It's a function of person. That's why it is first being before be.
Okay, talking about working smart and working harder, how can young Nigerians work smart to ensure that, sometimes you don't even need to leave the comfort of your home now and you make this money. You can be a content creator. We have young people who are genuinely making this money. So how can that person watching you at the moment work smart?
I think working smart is evolving with times.
I'm not talking about the illegal means now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Of course, I'm not going to talk about, I don't understand how to make money illegally. Because the truth is, it's about evolving with times. Understanding times and season. You know, in this period, you understand that AI is dominating the space. Okay, is this something I can, I mean, when I was, my first degree at the University of Illinois, the first program I did was History and International Relations. What would I have done with that? So you need to understand that many of our curriculums are outdated, and you might not be able to actually do so much with what they have taught you in school. So it's important that you learn and unlearn things. You understand the language of the season that you are in. And also, one thing about young people is that a lot of young people need to humble themselves and surrender to learn. Because these days, people don't want to learn.
That's another key.
There's no mentorship.
Okay.
People don't, a lot of young people you see these days, everybody wants to be a CEO, everybody wants to be their own boss.
True.
They don't want to serve. So what I want to say to them is that the way up is down. When I was coming down, I started from the staircase downstairs. So the way up is down. So look for somebody who has exemplified the result you seek to accomplish. Submit to them. Learn through the ropes, you know, understand how they got there and put in the work. Listen, you will be successful.
Okay. So now let's talk about the theme of the Future Awards Africa. Now, talking about threads of legacy. Now, how does that interpret to you?
Well, for us at Dukia Investment, many of the developments, I mean, you'll be surprised to know that my company we build houses.
Tell us. So you wanted to say something, say it. You wanted to say something.
Some people are expecting to hear that. Are you doing that for free?
Of course, it's not for free. Okay. But I mean, that's very affordable. I mean, very affordable, trust me.
1 billion. 1 billion.
Now let me say this, right? And looking at somebody whose father never really left a piece of asset for him, to helping people come into investment reality. I think what the Future Award is doing is quite incredible. And like what you said, threats of legacy, it mirrors the work that we do at Dukia Investment. Because at every of our development, we implant and leave an imprint of legacy. We don't just build homes, right? We build comfort. We reinvent comfort. We build smiles. And so at Dukia Investment, we are ensuring that whatever it is that we are doing, it's something that outlives us. It's like a baton that we hand over to the next generation. And like I earlier said, the world will not remember you for the thing that you acquire, but for what you kept for others to benefit from. And I think that's an amazing work that they are doing. And for everybody who has been nominated for this the year's Future Award, I think it's an incredible opportunity and they should be so excited about it.
Are you saying that some people are not aggrieved with this list?
Well,
you never can tell. If you have some aggrieved people out there saying that I'm supposed to be in this category?
I think it's an enviable, it's an award that, let me tell you, it's an award that every young person wants to be a part of. Unfortunately, every young person cannot be recognized every year for the amazing work that they are doing. It doesn't matter, you might be one of the best, but I mean, that's what I said. Some people need to, I think what Future does is that outsiders nominate you.
Okay.
So they consider a host of all of those nominations, look for those who appear extremely compelling, and then put a few of them as part of those who are nominees, and then the jury sits to decide the best among them. So I think if you are not nominated this year, yours, it could be next year. Just continue to do the thing that you are doing, and then you will also be observed.
Okay, so I have a two-part question, right? So the first part is literally centering on the fact that you were nominated and then you won. But then again, let us know, when you were nominated, what was the background work that was done?
Okay.
Do you understand? Prior to your winning. And then, going forward, now, is there an ecosystem? Because it's something to actually hand over. There are people that have been awarded for great things, even greater awards, do you understand? And then after that, I mean, they don't make so much out of it, right? Thank God, thankful for yourself. I mean, you motivate yourself, even if nobody motivates you.
you know, right?
I know. So my point is, now, the background to ensure these people are actually doing the work and they deserve this, that's one. And then going forward, what ecosystem is put in place to make sure that, continuity, yes. Thank you so much.
Trust me, at the Future Award, for what I know.
Yeah.
Getting a nomination alone is such a victory. And you will not get close if you are not doing something meaningful, tangible, and something that is solving a real problem. Okay. So many of the nominees are those who are creating impact.
So it's not based on politics.
It's not based on. It's not a political award. That's why you don't have to pay for it. That's why you don't need to know anybody to be there. As a matter of fact, none of the nominees eventually know who is eventually going to win. Okay. Even while I was nominated, I went to the award. I don't know if I was going to win or not. All I knew was that it was like when I was applying for Forbes 30 under 30. They will ask you for everything. They will ask for everything about what you've done, so you have to go to submit a compelling application. So it also determines on how you're able to, present, your case, right? With all the evidence that you've submitted. They will ask for, for instance, in the entrepreneurship category, they want to know what revenue have you done. Because if you say you are making impact, I want to also see the numbers.
Yes.
But beyond the numbers, they also want to check, are you a reputable person? So that it's like, so that we don't give power to the wrong person. So are you a reputable person? Okay, what have you done in the past? And then they cross-check, they do an independent, deep search on you through the jury. They check your platform, they check your pages, they probably ask a few people about you because you have mentors in the industry, and then they decide that, okay, the truth is everyone who is nominated is a potential winner. They are all amazing. Yeah. But they just need to make sure that one person eventually emerges as the winner. So everyone who is nominated in the first instance, I want to just say congratulations to them because they've done an amazing work, and it's good that a brand like Future Award has spotlighted some of the things that they are doing. But it's one brand that, for us to put our name behind them, they are extremely reputable, and we are proud of the incredible work that they do.
You've just answered attainment. What about sustainability?
Well, for sustainability, I believe that at the core of what they do is also sustainable development because they've been doing it for quite some time.
I'm talking about individuals. That's the
for individuals.
For the individuals, yes.
So I think for the individuals, I think one of the things that the award does for you is that, like I said, it's a pat in the back. That we notice you, we recognize you, we see the work that you are doing, and that we are here to also empower you. While, the future is not just doing this because we are sponsors. I remember the year that I was nominated. Many of the nominees, either you're going to win or not. In fact, you're not going to know, but they will just select some of those nominees. They're going to select nominees. They're going to take them to TV stations. Last time we were at some TV stations, they gave us opportunity like platform to talk about Nigeria and the future, our opinion, what it felt like, being on the Future Award. And before some people, that was the first time on national television. Even though it wasn't the first time for me, but a lot of people, it was their first time. And people were like, wow. And that meant a lot for their businesses. That amplified a lot of people's voices. That consoled them that indeed, what I'm doing is indeed right. And beyond that, I remember when I was there on my show the other time, when I was a nominee, I was on a show with somebody that I've been looking forward to meeting. And I connected with the person, and today we sit up. And beyond that, there is also a section where they choose some of the nominees, randomly to maybe, I don't know, maybe it's based on social media following or how photogenic they are, but they choose some of the nominees to become the face of the...
Absolutely.
Yeah, the face. So and last year, during my set, myself, Boshagi, Idabasi, and a few other, Vicky James, amazing, yes. We were the one that were like, on the front cover, and I did. I went, wow, the guy, and you'll be surprised.
You're such a smooth talker.
And you'll be surprised how many people believe the work that I've been doing. You'll be surprised how many people say, well, I think I can give money to that business. I think I love what that guy is doing. So even from there,
more opportunities
came, more businesses came, more partnership came, more award came.
And you're doing this based on integrity.
Yes.
And not to defraud anybody.
Not to defraud anybody. That's what I'm saying, that what the platform does for you is that it amplifies whatever it is that you've been doing in the past. It doesn't mean that if the platform is not there, you're not going to succeed, but the platform is going to accelerate to success because it identifies with the woos and woos of the Nigerian young population.
Mr. Shobowale, you've said a lot about your successes. What are your challenges?
Well, I think, like every businesses, we have a lot of challenges. It's just that we have chosen to look at the bright side of the African entrepreneur. For us as developers in the real estate, I also currently was elected as the Assistant General Secretary for Redan. That's the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria in Lagos. Thank you. And so some of the challenges that we have is, lack of proper infrastructure, especially for, as a property developer, you buy the land, you provide, the building and the structures, and you're also expected to develop the infrastructure. So how do you want to deliver sustainable, affordable, and quality homes?
Quality homes, because that's where I'm going.
Yes.
Just this week, we have two houses collapsed in Lagos, and it's a reoccurring decimal.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is some of the things that Redan has sought to, address even in time past. And I think there are a lot of factors beyond what I initially said. One of it is that there are a lot of people who are not professionals who are in the space, who don't engage professionally. There are quack. Everybody thinks once I have enough money, I can just go into development and start building. It's not so.
What would you say the issue is?
I think what Redan does, what Redan does now is to, sanitize the industry to ensure that those developers who are the fund to develop engage the right artisans, technicians, and even engineers.
Okay.
And so what I also want to encourage investors to do is to be on the lookout, to ensure that before you give your money out to somebody, you want to be sure.
Do they certified?
Okay.
Are they certified, number one? Are they a member of WEDA? Because we have a lot of inquiry. People come to me at the secretariat and say, well, somebody has just duped me, especially people in the diaspora. And I tell them, before you bought, what are the KYC? What did you do? What are the questions you will ask them? Were they a member of WEDA? Okay, you did ask about that. Now they've duped you, are coming to WEDA. So it's important that you ask those questions. Do they have the right documents? Do they have appropriate permits
to
build in the first instance? Those are some of the things that if you are smart enough to have the money to buy a property in Lagos, you should be smart enough to also ask the right question. And don't buy a property of 200 million and be offering to pay 5,000 or 500K to a surveyor. You should be able to at least invest 5% of the cost of the property to do the search that what you're buying.
For that young person looking at you at the moment that's been encouraged, that is walking into depression, I will tell them this morning from Robert Schullers, who says, tough times never lasts, but tough people do.
That's my favorite.
Lukman Shobowale, author and businessman, thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you here this morning. Thank you.
All right, it's time to talk interesting world of sports. Well, I don't know whether what of the sport do you like?
Sports. I do actually a lot of sports. I'm a swimmer.
Football? Okay, you're a swimmer.
Yeah, I'm a swimmer.
We'll take a break now. And when we come back from the break, the sport guys are ready to take us into the world of sport. Do not go anywhere, definitely.